one of my most favorite group of artists are stand-up comedians because I follow them relentlessly. I go to every show of theirs and to pick on their brains and to know what makes them tick is the most interesting thing for me, and I hope it is for you guys too. And I have one of my favorite stand-up comedians in India, that is Atul Khatri with me. Atul, hi, how are you doing?
Thank you, Mansa. Thank you so much for having me here. And actually, let me tell you, one of my favorite artists also are RJs, because I have seen you guys at work sometimes in your studios, and I'm telling you, you are like superhuman beings. You are sitting, talking to callers, talking to us. Suddenly, shifting some music there, playing some ads somewhere. So kudos to you. You guys are as the heroes behind the thing, because people know you by your voices. Sometimes they never see your faces. So I think all the best to all the RJs also out there. Thank you so much for having
No,
me here.
so sweet of you to say that, but we don't have the pressure of making people laugh. That's unbeatable. I can't, I'm not a funny person, so if I'm expected to be funny, I will have a nervous breakdown. But let's start. You were a businessman, and you became a stand-up comedian at 43. How did that happen? Kida kaise aa gaya? Were you bitten by the bug? How did that happen? Please tell us.
You could say it was maybe midlife crisis. Maybe it was pressure for my wife. I don't know what it was. I didn't want to die doing my corporate job, so I started doing an open mic at that age, and I love the experience of going on stage and making people laugh. Let me tell you, when you go on stage and make people laugh, the dopamine hit which you get, it keeps you awake for like three nights. And it was so addictive that I wanted to go back again, and soon I got hooked on to it. And after 4 years of doing both my job as well as stand-up comedy, then at the age of 48, I gave it away and got full time into comedy. Yeah. So that's how it started. Yeah.
Ah, but tell me, you make it sound so easy. It couldn't have been this easy. I mean, I'm sure it must have been some ride and some journey. What has been the biggest challenge? Is it just to make people laugh, or is it something else more technical? What's the biggest challenge?
I think people are ready to laugh. I think that today for any comedian, writing jokes has become a very
Yeah,
I would say, because we don't, as I don't know, but comedians, we don't take jokes from the internet, we don't take jokes from
no,
WhatsApp forwards, we don't take any other comedians jokes. So these are all original jokes which you do write from scratch. And today what has happened, thanks to all these social media platforms, any incident happens, by evening you have 2000 jokes on that same topic. So when we
yes.
go and make jokes on that same topic, we have to rise above that. Otherwise people will say, oh, we have heard this on on internet. So I think today the biggest challenge for all comedians is to write fresh content,
I
original
know.
content, and still can relate to people across genres. I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest challenge comedians have.
What happens when you hit a plateau?
uh, you do hit a plateau. You hit what is called as a writer's block. Every
Yes.
artist got his own ways of sort of dealing with it. For me, exercise works a lot. So that the day I go and exercise, have a good run or a good cycling trip, I think it sort of again releases positive hormones inside my body, which gets my brain cells working. So I think that really is the key.
Yeah. I have
Keep
been to
yourself active, keep yourself busy. I think that's very important. Yeah.
Right, right. I have been to so many of your shows and I'm very familiar with the content, you generate. But I still want to ask you, what's your go-to content and what's your no-no content? What do you stay away from and what do you gravitate towards?
Go-to content is my wife. Yeah, she's sitting at home. We are married for 28 years. We have jokes sitting right here. My children, I make a lot of my jokes about my experiences with my children, and jokes actually which I don't like to do, which myself, like, I don't feel comfortable doing it. Like, for example, I don't do any jokes on religion because I don't understand religion much. To be very honest with you, I don't do political jokes on stage because
Yeah.
I don't think they deserve our attention so much. Politicians, uh, we should they are limited to Twitter and Facebook. One post is that's okay, but I'm just joking. But I'm just saying that I don't want to waste my time, because even the thing with making political jokes is, today if you make a joke on one particular person, in 3 months he changes his party and goes to some other thing, so the joke only dies.
It's
So
on you.
exactly. So I like to make jokes on myself, about my family, about my children, about observation, what I see. And yeah, I these are the two things I stay away from, actually. Yeah.
But doesn't she ever get angry sometimes? It's like, I can't believe you said that. That moment happens.
My wife is very practical. She says, as long as you get the money home, say what you want.
I once asked a stand-up comedian friend of mine once, what happens when you're on stage? What's happening on your mind? Are you just thinking about the content, that you're delivering at that
Mm.
moment? Or, are you looking at the audience, who's laughing, who's not laughing? And I remember that person telling me that my mind's like a machine. There are like 100 things happening. What happens with you when you're on stage?
Exactly. I think your friend really hit the nail on the head, because when you're on stage, you are so many things you're seeing. You are, watching the entire crowd is sitting in front of you. If I'm telling you honestly, if there's one person in the crowd now who's for some reason is not laughing, you know, you, you can imagine, 200, 300 people sitting, your eyes will continuously go on to him. "Ke, why is this guy not laughing?" And till it doesn't laugh, you keep on working on it. Yeah, so 100 things are going on in your head. Your set is going in your head. You're continuously observing. Some people are walking, somebody's on your phone, somebody is this. And so, yes, while we are out there, it's like a machine running, and too many things happening, and also there's a constant pressure to see that your audience is relating to the material. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're on stage, you may have a very young material, a young crowd. Sometimes you're on stage, you have a very older crowd, maybe a conservative crowd. So all those things are thinking, okay, this is not working. What should I do next? How should I tackle it? So that's a lot of things are working, and I I I genuinely I respect the art because I know how difficult it is.
Yes, yes. I mean, what is Atul Khatri like? Are you this pleasant all the time? Because I have never seen you get nasty. Never, never, not even remotely unpleasant. Do you have this kind of pleasant disposition all the time? Do you get offended? Put it out. No, you're like this chill, calm zen.
Yeah,
It's like you've attained nirvana.
I'm telling you, my wife's friends, they all say, "Oh, you are so lucky. You have a comedian as a husband," and she tells
Yeah,
him, "He's a horrible person at home." I don't, so most comedians are very different on stage, off stage. A lot of comedians off stage are very introvert. They don't mix around with people, and so yeah, they have basically two different persona which you sometimes see. So people think comedians means ghar pe we're just running around as clowning, running around, wearing different. No, no, no. We are also human beings. We also go through same emotions. We also get angry. We get upset. We have other issues. So yeah, I think we are humans. We are not superhumans.
no, because I have seen some artists lose their cool on stage or during the interviews. Kuch to nikal ke bahar aata hai, because for a moment they are unpleasant. But you are like forever pleasant, forever. I'm thankful for it. I'm not trying to make the beast up or something, but I'm just saying, you're always very, very pleasant. It's a compliment.
Thank you so much. I'll take it. Yeah.
But I want to ask you this: if you were to bust the biggest myth, of course you busted one just now that they have two personalities, personas off stage, on stage. But other than that, one of those very common myths that gets to you about stand-up comedians, if only they knew, you think listening to that, what would that be?
So, like, I actually sometimes it's like a myth, but I sometimes take it as a compliment when you get off stage and you meet some
Yeah,
fan and they say that, "Oh wow, you were on stage for 1 hour and all that, it was all impromptu." It all
correct.
came out of her head. So a lot of people don't know that comedy is it's a written, all the jokes what we say on stage, whoever comedian you have seen, these are all written, performed, tested jokes. It's an act, it's a performance on stage. Obviously, when we do interact with the audience, that is obviously on the fly, it's all impromptu. But most of the act when you see of a comedian on stage is all written jokes, and sometimes audiences, my god, I thought this was all impromptu, and that's the biggest compliment which you get. So I think that's again a big myth which people have. Also, the second myth, around comedians, oh, we are very, very funny, the opposite sex comes to us very easily. No, no, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. you know we are as boring as anybody else. And so yeah, that's a big myth that just because we make people laugh, other people of the opposite sex get attracted to us. There's a kuch nahi hota. We have to work very hard there also.
No, I understand that. I understand that. Now tell me this. I don't want to make it, a little tricky or anything, but a lot of people, a lot of artists do end up, getting into trouble because of what they say. And a lot of people come out and talk about it, support them. I personally have always, I've voiced my opinion saying how unfair it is, because we'll have to learn how to take a joke, because at the end of the day, it's a joke. What have you got to say about that?
I totally agree with you. At the end of it's a joke. Whenever a comedian writes a joke, I'm telling you, no comedian writes it saying, okay, today let me offend somebody. Chalo, let me write
Yeah.
this joke. He's written this joke based on his experiences, based on his maturity, based on his or her, experiences in life. And there is no malicious intent of any comedian to go up and say, chalo, today let me offend this community, let me offend this religion. Aisa kuch nahi hota hai. We are just going for a laugh. That's it. You know. Now, what has happened is, unfortunately, thanks to this great device which we have in our hand called the smartphone, where people have suddenly taking offense has become a national pastime. You
Yes.
say the most positive thing. Today in
Yeah.
Bombay, we are having a very lovely day. Yesterday it was raining, but today is a lovely sunny day. So if I tweet in the morning that, hey, it's a beautiful, lovely day in Mumbai, I am telling you by evening, there'll be at least six people who have got hated on that, such a positive message that, hey, there are floods in Assam and you Mumbaikars are enjoying. Hey, there is no power in my area and you guys are enjoying. How dare you? You are a
Yeah.
privileged lot. So people are taking offense at whatever you say. So
Yeah.
I think we really cannot fight that. My only recommendation, you don't listen to those comments and you just move on. It's like how an elephant walks, he doesn't, respond to stray dogs barking. You just do that and
I
keep
know.
on walking, keep on doing your work. Yeah.
I know. I know. What do you have to say to people who are aspiring stand-up comedians? Like to RJs, I say, please, I'll hold a placard saying, "Run for your life. Don't come here. This is a deep dark territory." What do you want to say to them?
I will say exactly what you say. Please don't come, especially now there's a pandemic going on. There's no live show happening. There is one live show happening on 12th September in Hyderabad, where I'm coming from. But other than that, there are not too many live shows happening. So it's a tough time to get into comedy. No, no. But seriously, the advice which I will give, it's a very, very serious business. Come
Yes.
to it for a long haul. It is as serious as if you're studying medicine or engineering or law. It's as serious as that. Take it very, very seriously. Number one. Number two, write original jokes. Number three, come and watch live stand-up comedy. Don't sit at home and watch comedians in America doing on Netflix and YouTube and all that. That's a very different audience, very different, level of maturity of understanding of jokes that audience has. Very different here in India. We are a very new audience. And third is hit the mic as often as you can. I think these are the
Yeah.
few advices I would give a aspiring comedian.
Now, coming to the big day, 12th of September. You're going to be here in Hyderabad. You've been here to Hyderabad
Yay!
before.
Oh, lovely. I love Hyderabad. Hyderabad is one of my, generally, I'm saying not because I'm talking to you, one of my most favorite audiences. I've got such warm reception from Hyderabad always, and I've performed many times in Hyderabad. Great crowd, great crowd. I mean, seriously, very, very intelligent crowd, and they understand humor, they understand jokes, they come to laugh, and I think that's very important.
No, we are very easy. We laugh very easily. हमें हंसना बहुत पसंद है.
Very
But
good. बहुत अच्छी है.
12,
Yes,
so
12th September.
it's yeah, it's a funny business, by Bus Kya Entertainment production, of course. 12th of September, Gachibowli, Heart Cup. But tell me, what are we, looking forward to? What should we be expecting? What's on table this time? Glimpses.
Yes, so I'll be talking a lot about. First of all, I'll be talking a lot about my dog. I have a new dog. Not a new dog. He's now old. He's 2 years old now, 3 years old. His name is
What's it
Butter
called?
Khatri. Butter Khatri, Mr. Butter Khatri. Yeah. So yes, we're talking about him. I'm going to talk about my experiences performing abroad to NRIs. I'm going to be
Yeah.
talking about some of my performances which I've had across very, 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 I would say, different crowds which I'm going to have, and obviously can't get away without talking about my wife and children. So some of those jokes also will be there. Yes. So please
We
do come
can't
and watch me.
wait
We'll have
to.
great fun. I'm super excited because this is actually one of my big live shows which is happening maybe in the last 18 months. Honestly, you know. Yeah, so
Wow.
I'm super excited for it, genuinely.
We we are excited as well. We are seeing you after such a long time. We can't wait. I'm going to make as much noise as I possibly can around this. But before I let you go, one last question. What's the best thing and the worst thing about being a stand-up comedian?
The best thing is that you get to travel, get to meet such lovely audiences across the world. And I think the worst part about comedian of is actually also traveling alone because it gets very lonely when you're traveling alone. And yeah, so I think that these are the two things. It's all related to traveling only. One is the good part is meeting audiences. Number two is after those audiences go away, coming back to an empty room sometimes gets very, very lonely. Yeah, I think that those are
I
the two
know.
things.
I know exactly what you mean, but it's been so lovely talking to you. What a pleasure. My first one-on-one interaction with you. And I can't wait to come to your show, sit there, laugh, and cheer for you. 12th of September, Gachibowli Hard Cup, Funny Business and Baskia Entertainment. Atul Khatri is just going to blow our minds away. I'm so sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mansa. Thank you so much. God bless. Thank you.